My dreams hacked by AI. You won't believe what it found. Think your dreams are just weird? You know, like random static your brain makes while you sleep? Yeah, I thought so too. Until I took my dream diary, all the bizarre, nonsensical stuff, and fed it to an AI. What it spat back out, well, it wasn't just some simple analysis. It felt like someone had peeled back a layer of my own reality, showing me something I never even knew was there. Forget those old dream dictionaries, this is something else entirely. I've always had incredibly vivid dreams, the kind that linger all day and leave you scratching your head wondering, what in the world was that all about? I'm talking flying purple elephants, chats with historical figures in fast food joints, and yeah, the classic being chased while your legs feel like jelly. You name it, I've probably dreamt a version of it. For years, I just figured, hey, creative imagination. Or maybe I'd had too much cheese before bed. Just random nonsense, right? That's the neat little box I'd mentally ticked. But then I started seeing all this buzz about AI making art, AI writing articles, AI cracking these super complex problems. And a little thought sparked, if AI can understand and interpret all sorts of complicated data, what about the data my subconscious cooks up every single night? What if my dreams weren't so random after all? What if there were patterns, meanings, maybe even secrets, hidden in all that nightly chaos that my conscious mind just couldn't pick up on? The idea was both super exciting and, honestly, a little bit terrifying. Section 1. The why and the what if. Let's be real. Old school dream interpretation has always felt a bit vague, hasn't it? You tell someone your dream, and they give you one possible meaning, often based on their own ideas or some dusty dream symbol book from the 90s. It's all so subjective. But AI could sift through tons of my dream descriptions, looking for themes that kept popping up, emotional vibes, symbolic language that I, being human and all, might be totally missing. It could analyze things using natural language processing, spot patterns, and even get a sense of the emotions involved. The whole idea of AI dream analysis isn't brand new, but it's moving forward at an incredible pace. There are apps and platforms out there now, designed to help you unlock the mysteries hiding in your subconscious. Some AI tools even offer different ways to look at things, Freudian, Jungian, Gestalt, kind of like having a panel of different human interpreters discussing your dream. Imagine a team of psychoanalytic experts, but they're all an algorithm. The chance to get some deep data-driven insights was just too tempting. What if this AI could act like a mirror, showing me parts of my subconscious I'd never dared to look at or never even knew were there? What if the random nonsense was actually a coded message from a deeper part of me? The curiosity was just too much. I had to give it a shot. Section 2. The experiment, feeding my mind to the machine. So I decided to jump in. First things first, I needed data. For years, I've kept a dream journal, sometimes super detailed, other times just frustratingly vague notes scribbled down in the dark. I gathered up everything I could find, pages and pages of my most vivid, confusing, and downright bizarre dreams. There were dreams about impossible buildings, anxiety-ridden flights where I'd forgotten my passport, a classic. And even that recurring one where all my teeth are for some reason replaced with marshmallows. Hey, don't judge. I found this AI platform that was good at analyzing narratives in text. It wasn't specifically sold as a dream interpreter for everyone back then. It was more like a fancy tool for understanding complex writing. I figured if it could break down Shakespeare, it could probably take a decent swing at my subconscious ramblings. The process itself was, well, pretty meticulous. I transcribed all my handwritten notes, typed up bits and pieces of memories, and really tried to be objective, making sure to include any emotions I remembered feeling during the dream. This was important because some AI can actually perform emotion recognition to link dream content with how you're feeling. I fed it months, no, years, worth of dream data. Dream after dream. The boring ones, the magical ones, the terrifying ones. I hit analyze and honestly my heart was pounding. What was it going to find? Would it just give me a jumbled mess of keywords? Or would it actually understand something? I remember one specific dream I was super curious about. I was on a space station, but instead of launching astronauts into space, we were sending them down in a giant plastic tub. The sheer simplicity of the tub felt really disappointing and confusing. This dream felt symbolic, but symbolic of what? I had no clue. This was a real test for the AI. Section 3. The initial AI output. Intrigue builds. The first results came back pretty quickly. It wasn't a single neat answer. Instead, the AI gave me a kind of breakdown. It pointed out recurring symbols, lots of water, a good deal of flying, and weirdly, a surprising number of cats. It also highlighted common emotional tones, a lot more anxiety than I consciously realized I was feeling, but also these flashes of intense joy and curiosity. Then the AI started to cross-reference things. It noted that dreams where I was flying often matched up with times I was starting new projects in my waking life. The water dreams seemed to appear when I was feeling emotionally swamped. Okay, interesting. Sounds a bit like standard dream interpretation stuff maybe, but the AI was picking it up with a level of consistency that was pretty impressive. It was like looking at a weather map of my inner world. Then it got even more specific. It started connecting dreams that seemed totally unrelated. For instance, it linked a dream about being lost in a city I knew well with another dream where I couldn't find the right key for a door. The AI suggested a pattern of feeling blocked or unable to move forward that I hadn't consciously put together from such different scenarios. This was more than just matching keywords. It was actually understanding the context. Some AI tools can apparently show you patterns and connections that a person might miss, statistically linking symbols to stress levels or emotional states based on huge data sets. I was seeing that happen right in front of me. The AI also offered different angles on that space station tub dream I mentioned. From a Freudian view, it suggested the tub might symbolize a desire for safety or a return to a simpler, more primal state. From a Jungian perspective, the downward journey could mean a descent into the unconscious or facing hidden parts of myself. A Gestalt interpretation focused on my noted disappointment with the simplicity of the tub, suggesting it might reflect real-life frustrations with things not meeting my expectations, or a feeling that the solutions I was being offered were too simple for complex problems. This was fascinating. It wasn't giving me the answer, but a whole range of possibilities. But this was just scratching the surface. The AI flagged a few specific dream sequences as having high symbolic density and unusual emotional resonance. These were the dreams I often just dismissed as too weird, the ones that made absolutely no sense. And this is where things started to get, well, intense. Section 4. The shocking truth. The AI cracks the code. The AI really zoomed in on a series of recurring, fragmented dreams I'd been having for years. They were always a bit different, but they shared some core elements. A dimly lit old library, a feeling of searching for a specific unnamed book, and this overwhelming sense of urgency mixed with a strange familiarity, like I'd been there before but couldn't quite remember why. I always woke up from these dreams feeling unsettled, with this deep sense of longing for something I couldn't quite name. I'd always just written them off as weird. So the AI analyzed these fragments. It cross-referenced the imagery, the emotions, the narrative structure, or lack of one. And then it delivered its findings. It suggested that this recurring library dream wasn't about a physical book or a real place at all. Instead, the AI proposed the library represented my own mind, my stored knowledge, my memories, and that desperate search for a specific, unnamed book. According to the AI, it was my subconscious mind's way of showing a deeply buried memory, or maybe a core part of my identity that I had either forgotten or was actively pushing down. I know. It sounds like something straight out of a movie. But the way the AI laid it all out, connecting symbols from other dreams, like a forgotten childhood toy that popped up in one, or a snippet of a song my grandmother used to sing that appeared in another, it started to form this chillingly coherent picture. It highlighted how the feeling of urgency in the library dream was almost identical to the anxiety I felt in those being chased dreams. It was linking emotional signatures across wildly different dream scenarios. And then came the real kicker. The AI identified a specific cluster of symbols and emotional markers within that library dream that consistently showed up right before periods of significant self-doubt or creative blocks in my waking life. It was as if my subconscious was frantically searching for this lost book, this lost piece of myself, whenever I was about to face a challenge that required me to be fully present, fully me. People who use these tools sometimes report being shocked by how accurately AI can pinpoint hidden anxieties or creative blocks, linking dreams to real-life events the dreamer hadn't consciously recognized. I was living that shock. The AI didn't tell me what the memory or aspect was. It couldn't do that. But it told me where to look, not in the dream world, but within myself. It was suggesting that a part of my own story, my own past, was the key I was subconsciously desperately searching for. It was way more revealing than I ever imagined. The random nonsense wasn't random at all. It was a map, and the AI had just handed me a compass. Section 5. The Aftermath. Living with the Revelation. Honestly, I was stunned. For days, I just sat with this information. It was like a puzzle piece I didn't even realize was missing had just been shown to me. It wasn't a scary revelation, not in a horror movie kind of way. It was profound. It reframed years of what I thought was just quirky brain activity into this deeply personal, ongoing internal story. The AI's analysis really pushed me to do some serious self-reflection. It made me think about different times in my past, about experiences I'd perhaps downplayed or not fully processed. That lost book became a powerful metaphor for me. It wasn't about literally finding something, but more about a journey of rediscovery, of integrating parts of myself I might have left behind along the way. What shocked me the most was the AI's knack for seeing connections my conscious mind had totally missed. We humans are pretty good at telling stories, but we're also masters of self-deception, of burying things we don't want to face. The AI didn't have any of that bias. It just looked at the data from my dreams and showed me the patterns. It was like having an incredibly insightful, emotionally detached therapist who only spoke in code. This whole experience has really changed how I see my dreams. They're no longer just weird nightly movies. They feel more like letters from my subconscious, and now I feel like I have a better way to start figuring them out. It also gave me a whole new respect for the power of AI, not as a replacement for human intuition or looking inward, but as an incredible tool to help us do that better. It seems the most effective way to use it is often a kind of human-AI team-up, where AI gives us data-driven insights and we bring our own empathy and personal context to the table. Section 6. Broader Thoughts and the Future of Dream AI. This whole journey has got me thinking about the bigger picture. We're really just scratching the surface of what AI can help us understand about ourselves. Dream interpretation is such a personal frontier. While AI is great at spotting patterns, it does struggle with the deeply personal and cultural meanings behind dream symbols. Like, a dog in a dream can mean wildly different things to different people. So it's not about AI having all the answers. But imagine a future where AI could help us understand our mental and emotional states with even greater accuracy, just by analyzing the stories our minds tell us at night. We're already seeing AI being integrated with wearable devices and EEG headbands to connect what's happening in our bodies with our dream content. The potential for improving mental well-being, boosting creativity, and deepening self-understanding is just immense. Of course, there are ethical things to think about. Privacy, data security, the chance of misinterpretation. These are all things we need to consider as this technology keeps growing. But the possibility of gaining deeper insights into the most mysterious part of our human experience, our subconscious, is undeniably exciting. So that's my story of how AI kind of hacked my dreams and showed me something pretty incredible about myself. It was a wild ride, and honestly, it's changed a lot for me. Now I'm super curious to hear from you all. What are the weirdest dreams you've ever had? Have you ever tried to interpret them, using AI or just on your own? And here's a big one. Would you ever let an AI analyze your subconscious? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. And hey, if you found this little journey into the mind fascinating, maybe give this video a like and consider subscribing for more explorations into the weird and wonderful. At the end of the day, my dreams are still weird. They're still a nightly dive into the bizarre and the unexpected. But now, I don't see them as just random nonsense anymore. Thanks to a little help from artificial intelligence, I see them as a conversation, a hidden language from the deepest parts of me. And I'm finally starting to learn how to listen. It's a pretty cool reminder that sometimes, the most incredible discoveries are the ones we make about ourselves, even if it takes a machine to point us in the right direction. It's pretty clear that when you combine AI's analytical power with your own self-reflection, that's where the real magic happens.